have a yoga strap nearby that I'm just going to show you how to use that for a couple of shoulder stretches tonight. If you have a strap or a belt or, you know, like a long towel or something like that that's handy and you want to grab that real quick, feel free, but you don't have to. I meant to mention that earlier. So just having that nearby. And then let's get comfy. So let's start with a few little get in here stretches. So we're going to reach our arms up overhead and just take a little reach up through one side. So you're thinking about pressing that sitting bone into the floor and just really opening up, especially right through here. I feel like this gets such to be an icky, sticky place right through that waistline, like right at the very top of that hip. So we're just going to reach and open that up nice and gentle and then reach out through that other side. And you might hear or feel some things popping around back there a little bit. It's okay. It's just everything readjusting to some length and space again. So why don't we just do that once more. And then we're going to reach up. Hold right there with your palms facing each other and feel just a little bit that you could turn your thumbs out, like turn your pinky fingers more in towards each other, like not the back of your hands forward, but just enough to really feel the shoulders opening across the back. And so your arms might even come out a little bit wider. Your neck is easy, and we're just going to breathe in right here. Now, as you exhale, start to lower your arms with your palms face up to about shoulder height, and then pause. Take another breath in, just reach out a little bit wider, and exhale, continue your journey down, palms face to the floor, and then just roll your shoulders, and hopefully that feels a little bit more open across that upper back. All right. Now bring your palms together, rub them together. And we're going to place one hand on the heart center, so the middle of the chest, and the other over your belly. Closing your eyes. Let's just take a few deep breaths to get here. Relaxing, releasing from your day. Starting to drop your awareness inside, saying a little hello to yourself today. This may be the first chance you've had to take a few moments just to pause and reflect and turn your attention inwards. Saying a little hello, noticing how you are, noticing the womb world. Maybe it's just a sense right now of baby or babies with you. Perhaps there's a little bit more movement going on, just depending where you are in your journey. And just take another deep cleansing breath. Let another little layer go. Let your day go. And just start to feel what's here, who's here underneath your hands. So as you take that next slow breath in, feel your body rise up to meet your hands. And that next slow breath out, feel your body softening away from your hands. Just notice that for a moment, that movement of your breath, the expansion on the inhale. And the softening inwards on the exhale. We're going to stay with this. And as you breathe in, can you feel your belly and your chest and your ribs all expanding at the same timing? And then as you exhale, can you feel your belly and your chest softening on the same timing? So the difference is that sometimes we do our three-part breathing where we start to fill the belly first and then the rib cage and then the chest. And then we empty out from the upper body, middle body, and then the lower body. And this time, instead of that, can you feel more of a 360-degree movement of your breath, expanding outwards in all directions and softening inwards from all directions? Let's just stay with that for a few moments. Take your time as you settle into a breathing rhythm. And can you start to equalize your breath? And sometimes it's helpful to count the breath. So we're not going to do a specific breath ratio or ratio breathing tonight. But you can count the length of your inhale and then just match your exhale to it to give you a little bit more of that sense of equal length, equal rhythm to your breathing pattern. So as I breathe in, I'm just counting 1, 2, 3, 4 is a comfortable in-breath for me, and so I'm just going to match my exhale to it. And so whatever that is for you, we'll just take a few more rounds. Feel your breath moving through your body beneath your hands. Just really let this be an opportunity to settle into the moment. Now at the end of your next exhale, just slide your hands down to your legs. Drop your chin to your chest, just breathing naturally again. And let's roll the head over to one shoulder. And bring it back down through center and over to the other shoulder. So really yummy, just this really luscious kind of stretch circling across to one shoulder and then down and across to the other. Let's do that one more time each way. And the next time that your head drops forward, we're going to pause there. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh the breath out through your mouth. So in this position, we're just really releasing through the jaw, the throat, and just feel that breath softening all the way down the length of your body. Right out through the pelvic floor. And then just float your head back on top of your spine. We're going to bring our fingertips to our shoulders and begin to circle the elbows back and then up and then almost kissing your shoulders forward as they come down. So they may or may not touch as you circle around to the front, but they're at least moving in that direction so you get a nice stretch across that upper back. So we'll take a few more in this direction. Getting any stuck stress or tension of the day out of your body. Yep. Good. And then we're going to reverse it. And again, as the elbows come forward, there's that feeling of them almost kissing for a moment. And then imagine that they could kiss to the back, although they won't be anywhere near it. Okay? So we're just really feeling that squeeze back of the shoulder blades and now the opening through the front of the chest this time. So the first set of circles are focus was more on opening up through the upper back, and with this set, it's more on opening up through the upper front. Okay, so I'll take that one more time around. And this time as your elbows drop down, just reach your fingertips all the way to the floor. And then we're going to reach them all the way back up. Nice big sweep. Let's look up to the fingertips. And as they sweep all the way back down, drop your chin into your chest. Again, just find a breath in as you reach up and look up. And a breath out as you reach down and look down. We do that one more time. And then just reaching up, and let's pause there with the palms facing each other, thumbs pointing to the wall behind you. Right, take your right hand and drop that down between your shoulder blades and just clasp hold of your elbow or whatever you can find there and gently hug that elbow closer to your head and just slightly back. Be mindful that your head doesn't try to push forward like a turtle coming out of a shell. Sometimes it's a little compensating movement. So you almost want to tuck your chin just a little and bring your head back into the nest of your arms. Let's take a little breath here. And then we're going to reach all the way up and switch sides. So just tuck that left hand down between your shoulder blades, clasp hold of that right elbow, feel your head nestling back into the arm so the neck is very relaxed, and take a breath. Ooh, fun sensations for me on that side. Okay, then we're going to reach everything up towards the sky. This time, roll through your wrists as you sort of shower your arms down around you. Take your time. Let them come all the way down, and just give them a little shake out when they get there. Good. All right. From here, interlace your fingers and notice which thumb is on top. Just remember that. And then actually, let's go ahead and change that interlace. So with the other thumb on top, it's the weird way. It just feels like you're holding somebody else's hand. So switch again to the first way. Just feel that for a second. And then change it to the weird way. And feel that for a second. And then come back to the first way and hold there. So from there, we're going to roll through the wrist, just making little circles or little figure eights. And then around the other direction. As you come back around to center, we're going to press the palms out away from the chest and go ahead and just stretch them up overhead. In fact, let's kind of pull ourselves up. So kind of wiggling your rib cage up off of your waistline. Feel like your tailbone and your sitting bones could just drop deeper down into the cushion or the floor beneath you, and then soften the tops of your shoulders. Make some room for that neck. And just feel that press up through your wrists. Now, if you can, equal stretch, equal press up through the joints, the ball joint of the index finger and the pinky finger, so the hands aren't really turned, although it may not be comfortable to go totally flat to the ceiling. So moving gently in that direction. Take a breath here. Slide your fingers out from each other. We're going to roll the wrists as we shower the arms down to the side. Shake them out. Little octopus arms when you get there. Good. All right. Now interlace your fingers the other way, the weird way. Same movement. We're going to press out through the palms. This one's a little slippier for me. My fingers don't like to stay interlaced as well on this side. So just kind of see how you are there. When you press up, go ahead and again just kind of pull yourself up, wiggle yourself up out of your waistline, wiggle your hips, your tailbone, your sitting bones down into the floor. Soften those shoulders out of your ears and just be there and breathe. And again, just think equal stretch up through the pinky side of the fingers and the index side of the fingers. Whoa, Nellie, that's a whole new set of sensations for me in this particular interlace of the fingers. I'm noticing a lot of tension down that right forearm. So let's take one more breath. Just notice for yourself what you are experiencing. Then slide your fingers out and roll gently down to your sides. That was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Kind of cool then when we change things up a little bit. Good. All right, we've got one more little wristy stretch here. This is one of my favorites. So we're going to come into prayer pose. And just press your palms together and let your elbows be on a low, easy diagonal for right now. Now, go slowly so you can really see, so you can feel at what point things start to change for you. So we're going to slowly start to lift the elbows up and notice at what point you can no longer keep the heels of your hands together. Maybe you can. We're just coming forearms parallel to the floor. And maybe you can still easily keep the whole palm of the hand pressed into the other, or maybe the heels of the hands want to start to peel apart there. So just notice, and then relax your elbows down again. Okay, so do that same thing. So slow-mo, we're going to lift the elbows and kind of draw the hands down a little. Just feel a little bit of a stretch and then release it. It's really subtle. It's really little. And then one more time, we draw the hands down, float the elbows out, and stop where you can keep the full palm pressing into the other. Okay. Make sure your shoulders didn't lift up or roll forward, so we'll just roll them back and down. And you're going to press your elbows to the right side. Now, the challenge here is not to twist. So rather than pushing your elbow back behind you and rotating through your shoulders, imagine there's a huge squishy ball out to the right side, and you're just going to push that ball into the wall. Ooh. And then back to center. There's that sensation for me again. All right. Then we're going to go the other way. So we're going to press that squishy ball to the left. A little stretch. Let's inhale back through center. Again, with your exhale, press that right elbow out to the side. Try not to twist. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, press to the other side. And back to center. Now this time we're going to add a little head rotation. So as you press your elbows to the right, turn your head left. A long, slow inhale will bring everything center. And exhale, take your elbows left and your head right. Let's just do that one more time each way. Long, slow breath to center. Exhale, elbows right, head left. Inhale, center. Exhale, elbows left, head right. Inhale, center. And exhale, relax. Good. Just take some little swimming shoulders, anything to just kind of smooth out through that upper body. Now, if you have been kneeling, your toes might be asleep by now. So let's all stretch our legs out. So whatever you need to do to get there, if you're kneeling, maybe just move that cushion off to the side. Shake your legs out a little bit, massage your knees a little bit. And just lean back on your hands and roll through the ankles. Nice big scoops, like you're trying to scoop all the way around the numbers on a clock. And around the other way. Good. And then a big flex of your feet and a big point of your toes. Big flex. Really feel almost as though you could lift your heels off the floor. Some of you might be able to. And then point. Do that just one more time. We're going to flex and point and then alternate. So flex one foot, point the other, and switch, and switch, and switch, switch. Switch last two, and one, and relax, and just shake everything out. Little bounces. All right, let's draw the soles of the feet together, but not super duper close into your body. So a wide butterfly, I like to call it more of a diamond shape with your legs. So it feels a little bit more open in your hips. Now remember, if your hips and lower back are feeling a little bit testy here, if you elevate the hips a little, just sit up on a little bit of your cushion, it should create more space there and just feel more comfy. That always feels a bit better in my body. All right, so holding on to wherever you can along the legs there, we're going to move through some cat versions, cat-cow variations here. Variations on a theme. All right. So as you kind of pull your legs back towards you, I'm pulling my hands against my legs. That's going to help me really stretch up tall, get a really beautiful, hopefully good feeling extension in the spine. Now just lift your heart, wrap your shoulders back, and take your gaze up. Just feel all that length and space here. And as you exhale, draw your tummy muscles in, tuck and round through your back, chin to chest. Let those shoulders spread wide across the back. And again, inhale as you're coming up. So I'm pressing down through the hips, down through the legs, and sort of pulling my hands back against the legs to really get that extension up. And then exhale, hug your tummy in and back as you round. You're just going to do that one more time. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, tuck and round. Good. Now actually keep going with that, but we're going to lift the right arm up with us. So it's a little bit more of a opening up through that whole right side, and then as you exhale, that arm comes down. Tuck and round back. Left arm's going to lift up with you. And exhale, tuck and round back as that arm comes down. And you're just flowing from side to side. Looking up as you reach up. Looking down as you round down, so that you get that little stretch in the muscles around your eyes too. I've been really conscientious about eye stretches since we're all spending more time on screens, and I feel like I'm losing some of my vision, and definitely I'm noticing that my depth perception is changing, which is a little surprising to realize. So when we can get our eye stretches in, let's do. We're just going to do that one more each way. Last time. Good. Hands stay down, and now just lengthen back up. And from here, we're going to kind of make this little spinal wave, right? So we're going to stretch out over the legs, kind of leading out with the heart, and then let the head drop as you tuck and roll back up. Growing up nice and tall, lifting up and over, stretching forward, and then let the head release as you tuck the tail under and roll back up. Good. Almost spinal waves. Just flowing easy in your body. Just take that one more time. And as you come back to center, pause. Roll your palms up onto your legs. Take a little breath. All right, and then stretch your legs. Just slide them all the way back out there. And we're going to come into a little hip stretch here. So tuck your feet to your left. So your right foot will be square in front of you, and your left foot is tucked around behind you. Just a little hip press. So your right hand's on the floor and your left hand is on your hip. We're going to roll that left hip forward and then roll it back. Let your upper body and your gaze go along with you. Roll that hip forward, looking around to the right a little, and then roll it back, looking to the left. Good. So even though there's movement in the upper body, we're really focused on what's happening here on the hip. A little press forward, a little press back. Do that one more time. And then we're going to stay on that side. Take that left hand and just reach it back towards your toes. We're going to make a great big circle. So you're going to sweep that arm around in front of your body and up so you're on this nice long diagonal. Just feel that stretch through your side body. And then continue to sweep back and around. Open up through your chest. Reach back towards your toes. And again, big sweep up. And back and around. Now one more time, sweep it up. Sweep it around. Now here is a little bonus. We're going to hold on to that outer shin. You could also just reach your fingertips to the floor and take your right arm up just alongside your ear. So feel that length that we did earlier when we were doing our wrist stretch up. We're just going to pull those ribs up off the waist, soften that shoulder, and take a little side bend up and over to that left. So rather than just kind of coming over and feeling a little collapsed maybe through that lower back and the hip area. I want you to really, really create some space there. All right, come all the way up and let's stretch both legs out. All right, take your mermaid tail to your right. So your right foot's going to tuck back by your right hip. That left foot is in front of you. And let's start back with our little hip press. And as you get moving on this side, just notice what's there. How's this side feeling? Taking an easy range of motion. If there is some tightness or tenderness or just like a little stuck or a little clicky spot there, you might do more of this little micro movement around it, just a little rock forward and back around that spot to kind of get it loosened up a little bit to help it to release before you take it into a little fuller range of motion. So there's some ways you can play there if things are feeling a little pinkier. And you can do the same on the back end. So I feel this in my hip a lot more on this side, so I'm just going to play around with it a little bit more, but you do you. See what feels good to you. And you might find that after you do a few of those little micro movements in and out and around those sticky places, and then you go for a bigger range of motion, it's like, freedom of movement. That's feeling nice. So just do one more there. I find these particularly nice in the body if we've been sitting a lot, which I think we're all doing more of right now too. Okay, reach your right arm back towards your toes. We're going to take that big circle. So we're just going to sweep that arm up. Now pause on this first diagonal. Just really feel that reach, that length, that opening up through your side body. You notice the theme tonight, side body stretching. And then reach it back around behind you. And again, that nice big circle up. And back and around. Let's do that one more time. And as this arm comes around, you can either just rest your fingers on the floor to the side or hold on around your shin to give you just a little kind of anchor point there. We're going to reach that left arm up, find a little bit more stretch up through that side body, and then think up and over, almost like you're rounding over a great big beach ball. Just be there for a moment and breathe. So we want to get out of the lower back. That's a big part of this, is just creating that space in the low back. And then bring it all the way back. Stretch everything out. And shake it out. Good. Okay, let's come on to hands and knees. I'm going to keep a little extra blanket under my knees for tonight. We are going to do a little bit more of a kneeling sequence, so if you know you need a little extra cushion there, just feel free to have that. All right. From here, take your knees as wide as your mat and your big toes together, and we're coming down into child's pose. So that could look like this. It could look like here, propping up on the elbows. It could look like stretching all the way down. So just take that in your body where that feels most wonderful to you tonight. You can always stack your hands under the forehead too. And just go ahead and take yourself into a little bit more of an active tuck of your tailbone here just for a moment. So we're going to kind of hug the belly and baby in and up as we tuck that tailbone under just to get some stretch back here. And this, if you've got a helper there at home, a little one or your partners, you can have them press down on the base of your spine. So not up here on your kidneys and your lower back, but on your sacrum, on the bony bits and the back of the hips here, and just have them press kind of pull back towards your tailbone and then down towards the floor. That back press is like a little piece of heaven, especially later in your pregnancy. So tell them that they have their yoga homework that they have to help you with because your yoga teacher said so. All right. Release your effort. Just relax in the pose for another moment. And then stretch your arms forward. Now, actually, bring them in enough that you can lift up out of your legs a little. So just create some length in your spine. And then from here, walk your hands over to the right side. Lean a little bit into that left side, hello side body one more time. And then back to center. It's just an area of our body that doesn't get stretched much in every day. And bring your hands to the left and lean your hips to the right. It's so important for so many things, the health of the back, the spine, the breath, everything, posture. All right, back to center, and then we're going to lift the hips up, but we're going to keep the legs in this wide position. Okay, so you might bring them in just a little bit, but essentially you're making room for baby. Now from here, let's inhale and extend out through the front of the spine. As you exhale, tuck and round all the way back into child's pose. We're just dropping in for a heartbeat. And then let that wave of your breath bring you forward and up, extending out through the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, and round all the way back. Dropping in. And inhale, rocking forward. Just connecting with your own breath-body rhythm. We flow through this a couple times. Next time that you come back through child's pose, just drop in for one full breath. Good. All right, shift your weight forward. Bring your knees a little closer together. So now just under your hips, curl your toes under. Let's get our toe stretch in. So sitting back onto your feet. And you can take this any step of the way. You can be right here, and that is a fine and dandy toe stretch. Or you can bring more full weight back into your feet. You decide for you tonight, wherever you are. Any place that you are, we're going to take 3 full breaths. I want you to breathe into that sensation that you're feeling. Breathe it out with a long sigh. Breathe into that sensation, meeting it with the palm of your breath. And as you breathe out, just feel all tension melting away from your whole body. Just one more breath. Come all the way forward, uncurl your toes. So the tops of the feet are on the floor. You can just tap them out a little bit. Ankle rolls, moving that around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn myself to face you, and you might organize yourself where you are, where you can use the length of your mat, so you're in the same general format. Okay, so we are in a standing, kneeling position. Let me go sideways for a second, but you're fine where you are. I like to have my toes curled under because it feels a lot more stable. I feel a lot less likely to tip forward. When my toes are curled under, I can activate the muscles in the back of the legs a little bit more. So we're going to start with a little mama camel pose, baby camel pose. So the arms are going to reach forward and up. That big circle back and around, open up through your chest, then just hook your hands right there into the top of your hips, Squeeze your elbows back and think. Press your thighs forward. Lift your belly to your heart to the sky, and be careful your head doesn't just fall back. So keep that integrity in your neck. So as your heart's reaching up, you're going to shift your gaze just a little bit up. And again, we're gently squeezing those elbows back. One more breath. Bring that gently in. Carefully uncurl your toes and just have a seat for a second. All right, now come back up into your standing kneeling. And again, in this position, you can have your toes curled under or not. So there's a moment of a balance act here. We're going to take our left leg out to the side, so bring it on out. And your toes are going to stay facing forward. I know sometimes it's hard to kind of look down and figure out where you are in space, but just make sure that your hip isn't too far out to the side or the other way, that you're pretty well stacked up, your knee right under your hip. Okay, the other thing that likes to happen here sometimes is that you're there and then it can feel a little unstable, and so we start to lean the hips back to get a little counterbalance. So I'm going to encourage you to send those hips forward and curl your toes under if that helps to create more stability there. All right, bring your arms out to the sides. From here, hello side body again. We're going to drop that left hand down and just feel the length from your knee up through your fingertips. And then over only as far as you're comfortable with. It's a really small range of motion this way, but now we're getting that deeper opening through the whole side body and into that hip. So just breathing there. Now we're going to tip back to center. And here we have a couple of options. We can place that right hand on our hip, our left arm overhead. You want to stay really anchored into that left foot and just take a little bit of a side bend over. Or, and I didn't bring my blocks out tonight, but you could take that right hand to a block, or it's a little scarier to go all the way over, but there's the floor, okay, hand to floor. So please take care of your body. Take that stretch any place that you need to, and it's just arm beside your ear, wherever you are there. So just breathe into that side body. I'm not going to ask you to come up from there, so sweep your top arm forward. Here's our transition. We're just going to tuck that left knee in, and we're going to have a seat. A little easier, just because I forgot to tell you to get your props, and I'm not sure what you've got there, so we'll go gentle and easy in the body here. All right, we're going to come back up to our standing kneeling, and we're going the other way. So that right leg comes out. Your toes are forward. Your foot is on the floor. So sometimes we'll kind of collapse through that knee a little bit, and the foot will tend to roll into the inner arch. But I want you to really energize through the outer side of that leg so you can feel the four corners of your foot in full contact with the floor. Right, check your standing leg angle. It's easy when you're looking at a screen, right? Arms are going to float out to the sides. Okay. From here, we tip to the right, so that left arm reaches up, up, and over. Just feel that length from your knee to your fingers, and watch that your hips don't try to press back. Good. Nice and slow. We're going to bring that back to your T position. And again, you decide where you want to go. If you're here and it's a little tip over, that is perfect. If you're feeling okay taking that hand to the floor, or if you happen to have a block there, go ahead and use it to bring the floor up a little higher. Arms alongside the head. We're just breathing again to that full side body. And then that arm is going to circle forward as we melt the knee. It just tucks in underneath us, and we have a seat. Bring everything back home to center. Take a little breath and a little relax. Beautiful, ladies. All right. Go ahead and come all the way up to standing now. If you have a strap, go ahead and find it. If you do not, don't worry about it. Let me tip my camera back here a little. I'll show you how you can use it later. So we're going to step our feet out a little bit wider than the hips and parallel. So toes are still forward. And if you have your strap, just toss it over one shoulder so it can just hang out there for a moment. Just loosey-goosey up everything, give it a little shake. And then be nice and easy in your knees, and we're just going to kind of toss the arms around the body for a moment. Tossing off the day. Good. Let's do that one more time. And back to your center. Okay. So with your strap, without your strap, you're just going to do this. Arms coming up, making a nice big circle back. But if you have your strap, you're going to hold it in the middle, so you've got equal length dangling down there, about shoulders width apart. You've probably done this before at some point. All right. This is a really great middle of the day, like you've been working on that computer for a couple of hours, get up, walk around, stretch things out, and do this. So we're going to bring the arms up overhead and hold. Watch out that they don't hit you in the face there. All right. Start to slide your hands out wider, but don't lose the tension on your strap. And then we're just going to bring the arms back behind us. We're not going to go all the way back, just to a nice little stretch. And then we're going to bring it up and all the way forward. Do that again. So recenter your hands on your strap. You're going to float it up. Widen, just kind of slide your hands out. It's a little twisty there. Slide those hands out a little wider and then reach it back. Not all the way back, but just right there to the heart of that stretch, and then bring it up. It's like you're coming to meet that stretch and then easing away. Just take some little shoulder wiggles each time that you are coming back. Just do that one more time. Let's inhale on the way up. Exhale back to the heart of that stretch. Now stay there this time. And if and only if your shoulders say okay, maybe continue back towards your hips. Let's bring the arms in just for a little rest, and then we'll take them out. Grow wide. You've got tension on your strap as you lift up. That's the tricky place right through there. And then bring it around forward. And shake them out. And if any of that creates extreme discomfort or really anything more than just a stretch, just don't do it. Just don't push that far into it. We're doing that much one more time, though, if that feels okay. Modify it as you need to. Nice, you guys. And reverse it. Bring it back. Good. Loosen that up a little bit. Let me show you one more thing while we've got our strap here. So we're going to come back overhead, and we're just going to hold that strap right overhead. So you're going to kind of make an X shape with your body. So you've got tension on your strap, a pretty good flat grasp there, so you're not going to slide out necessarily any wider. And then as you pull out on your strap, you can kind of melt those shoulders down a little bit. And now you're just going to keep the tension that's there, but you're just leaning over to one side. And again, keep the tension that is there as you come up and over to the other side. That can just feel really nice to open things up. It's kind of fun. I think it's like, oh, yeah. Okay. You could also, keeping that tension on your strap, bring it a little forward, so just a little circle through the thoracic spine, so basically from the bottom of the rib cage up, there's a little arch. So lots of ways you can play with that. You take that the other way. You're basically just looking for what feels good. And as long as it's feeling good in your body, there's no wrong way to it. All right, bring your strap down. Let's bring the legs in. You can just drop that off to the side. It's a lot of upper body work, so we're going to let the upper body rest and just finish with a little warrior pose. So go ahead and step those legs all the way back out in a nice wide angle. We're going to take our right foot and turn it forward to the end of your mat and kick those left toes in a little bit more. So you want to kick that heel out so you're a little bit more internally rotated. That's just always is going to protect your SI joints. Right. Place your left hand on your hip and that right hand right here at the crease of the hip and bend down into your lunge. Watch your knee. Just make sure it tracks over the ankle, over the toes. From here, we're going to inhale, push into the heel of that front leg and lift up. And exhale, sink back down. Do that again. Press into the heel of that front foot and lift up. Exhale and sink back down. Now hold right there. We're going to take that right hand like we have a serving platter on it and just reach it palm face up right out in front of us. And take a little reverse warrior. Still down into your lunge. Good. And then from there, bring that hand onto your thigh. Take that left arm overhead into a high extended angle rather than coming deeper down into that. Let's keep it a little high tonight. Breathe right there. Reach all the way up as you straighten that front leg. Bring both arms out. And then just reach through your right rib cage. Let me take a little triangle pose. We haven't done much with this, so let's keep it modified. Your right hand onto your thigh. Your left arm just up into the air. Your hips are reaching back. There's a lot of hip stuff going on there. Let's breathe into that. Push into your feet to float up and release your arms. We're going to turn the feet the other direction. So your left toes turn out to face the back of your mat. You want to kick that right heel. Don't tip over to your back of your mat. Maybe widen your stance a little left to right. More space between the legs. Okay. Right hand, the top of your hip. Left hand right into that hip crease. And as you bend that front knee forward, just make sure it doesn't angle in towards your big toe. So just want to keep it in a really strong parallel line. You're plugged in long and strong to that back leg. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale, rising up. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, sink down and hold. Let's take our left arm out. And stay low in that lunge as your upper body tips back. Now you can keep your gaze on the horizon, which will help steady your balance. If your balance is feeling pretty good, you can look up. But if that makes you feel like you're going to tip over, bring it back down. Okay, left hand comes down to the top of your thigh. It's a high extended angle. So we're not coming real low into it. And breathe. Okay, we're going to bring everything up. Legs straightens. Arms are out to the side. Now keep your legs straight as we just reach out through that left side of the rib cage. We're kind of sending the hips back to the right a little bit more. And then we just tip the upper body into a triangle pose. And breathe. Reach back through the chest. Reach open through the chest. Then inhale, press into your feet. Just float your way up to center. We'll turn the toes forward and bring everything down. Just heel toe your feet back in. Give everything a little shake there. And we're going to take a little bit of space between the feet, not nearly what we had. Bring your hands down onto your knees, and we're going to circle the hips, the knees, and the ankles, everything together. And do a little dance here. So just think of it as some movement to smooth everything out. I know it can look a little funny, but hopefully it feels pretty good. Let's go the other way. Just moving through your joints. back to center. Feel your weight into your feet, and from here, just take a nice slow reach. Just really take your time. Take a full, long and slow inhale as you reach everything up. Maybe it's a couple of inhales to get there, and then a long and slow exhale to bring everything in. Land at the heart. Be right there. Pause for a moment. Into your calm and quiet center. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to mosey our way down for a little relaxation. So come on down to the floor. Get comfy. Grab your bolsters, your blankets, whatever you need here. All right, nestling into where you feel the most supported, and just that place where your body can really relax. You can let go of all of the effort, all of the doing that we've just done, and now just let yourself receive all of this goodness, receiving all of this benefit of your practice. So as you're settling in, let your eyes drop closed. Take a deep breath and just let it go. And just really feel everything melting down into those cushions and support. Feel your breathing starting to just slow down again. No particular way to breathe. We're just slowing things down. Maybe your heart rate was beating a little more quickly, doing some of our standing work. So now just take your time as the heart begins to settle back in. Yeah. We're just going to send a little loving to our whole bodies. Love and gratitude for this amazing thing, growing a human being that your body is doing, and just loving towards your whole self, your whole mama self. So let your mind's eye just drift all the way down into your toes and your feet. Imagine your breath could follow. So think of just breathing into your feet and toes. Just feel your breath cool, calm, and refreshing. The feet relax into it. And feel your breath and this relaxation flowing into the legs, feeling the legs fully, and just allow the legs to completely surrender and let go now. Cool, calm, and refreshed. Breathing down into the hips and pelvis. Allowing the hips to completely relax. Softening down, letting go. Breathing down into your belly and lower back. Imagine that your breath is gently swirling around baby, caressing baby inside of you and massaging through all of your organs, through and around. So just really relaxing the whole inner body, softening as you exhale. Relax the muscles of your belly and low back. Breathing into the chest, the lungs, the heart, the upper back. Just allow this area to soften. Allow the collarbones to soften, the lungs to relax. And feel this breath and relaxation as it flows into the shoulders, completely filling them and just breathing out any tension that might be here still. Freeing up the upper body. And just allow your breath and this feeling of relaxation to flow down through your arms, all the way down through your hands, your fingers. Just feel the breath in the arms, cool, calm, and refreshing. Feel that quality of lightness, of ease up through the neck, up through the head as you soften all of the muscles of the face. Allow the full weight of the head to release, relaxing and letting go. Feel that quality of ease throughout your whole body. Feel your breath through your whole body, cool, calm, and refreshing. Just allow yourself to soak in this moment for just a moment longer. Just marinating here in this feeling of relaxation. Here, just taking a few deeper breaths again, slowly bringing your awareness back. And with it, bringing that quality of ease back into your awareness. So how would it feel as you start to move and stretch into your body again? How would it feel to move from that feeling of relaxation? Things might feel a little more fluid, a little lighter, a little fluffier, a little more spacious. Stretching any way that feels good. Have a little yawn. And take your time moving from that same awareness to bring yourself up to sitting again. So stay with it. Don't lose it. Stay with that feeling. Stay connected inside. Eventually kind of finding your way back up to your seated center with your eyes closed. You might even find a soft little rock and sway as you get there. It's kind of like you're channeling your inner seaweed. And we're going to bring the palms together, rubbing them together. And again, just bring one hand to your heart center, one to your belly center. Just pausing here again, feeling your touch and that warmth of your hands. And your breath in your body and connecting heart to heart with babies. From your heart to baby's heart. Lots of love flowing in both directions. And we'll bring both palms together in front of the heart center and just bowing into your sweet heart and down to baby. And thank you for being here. Namaste, everybody.